Hey everybody, Dave here, and I want to send you guys this quick video message letting you know that everything has been graded. And I didn't provide much feedback on the fitness plans, mainly because I wanted to actually have a conversation about it and kind of let you know just kind of a general scope as to some of the things that I saw, some of the trends that I saw within our class. A couple of you identified that you just kind of want to stick with the program. You want to be able to adhere to a program, and it seems like maybe motivation was the biggest trouble, just finding the time, etching the time out of a day to exercise. And I think it boils down, especially to resistance training, is trying to find a passion in resistance training. Trying to find something that, trying to find a like within something you totally dislike or just are uninterested in. Not everybody likes resistance training. So I'll just say, in defense of resistance training, I think it's one of the best modalities of exercise. In fact, it's as far as the 8 top reasons that I in my face-to-face class when I'm talking about resistance training, the 8 top reasons to exercise in the weight room is the top reason would be to prevent injury, and so to make sure that we are working on things like balance and proprioception that are naturally worked through resistance training. So when you are picking up an external device, you are starting to manipulate your center of mass, and when you do that, your body is having to adjust. Even if you just don't, even if you never thought about it that way, that's one way to work on proprioception. So balance and agility and those kind of things is through having a kind of an external apparatus to help you out, either with a band, a dumbbell, kettlebell, barbell, whatever it may be. So, it's kind of maybe thinking in terms of another reason to do resistance training. Another one might be to increase your metabolic rate. So you can definitely slow down metabolic rate by maybe eating less or maybe some sort of medication. But as far as speeding up your metabolic rate, it really only happens through exercise. And so demanding your body burn more calories at work and at rest. And so you do that through exercise, and most notably in this case, resistance training. BMR, or basal metabolic rate, is raised for about 36 to 48 hours post resistance training, whereas in cardio training it's only raised for about 6 hours. So you're getting that extra afterburn, we'll call it, post exercise for much longer when you're doing resistance training. So which leads me to this: how hard are you working when you're doing resistance training? Are you kind of just picking up some soup cans and doing 15 to 20 repetitions, but you can do like 40? Or are you picking up really heavy weight and really struggling to get to that 10, 12, or 15th repetition? And that's really what you want, is at the end of that set, you should be struggling, and you may need a spotter in that case. But if you know that you can do 5, 10, 15 additional repetitions, then perhaps that weight isn't challenging enough. So really think about that when you are creating a workout plan, thinking about how you can manipulate your body into different positions to make your body weight act with you and work with you in terms of making an exercise either more challenging or a little easier. So one of the other things I noticed was just the lack of creativity in some of the exercise plans. A lot of you just kind of put up some cookie cutter programs or just kind of regurgitated what was on the within some of the websites that were provided throughout the term. But I want to see some creativity within your plans, and I want to see. Essentially, I just want to see, again, creativity and not regurgitation, but something that really comes from within. And I think that just goes with, you just need experience in the weight room. You just got to get in there and create maybe something really basic, but with that, begin to challenge yourself. So there was one in particular plan that talked about the angles of a bench. And so putting your bench at like 10 degrees, 20 degrees, 30 degrees, 40 degrees, and playing with those angles on a bench so that when you're doing a press, you're working different parts of that pectoralis major or pectoralis minor muscle when you are doing different vertical or different inclines. And you could do that even with like a row of some kind with a pulling against you. So like when you're doing a seated a pull down and you're doing it totally upright, maybe leaning back a little bit so that you are working a different angle of that latissimus dorsi. And then, or if you only have 20 minutes or you care to only put in 20 minutes, doing a push and a pull. So you're doing a push over, on one part of the gym, and then as soon as that pushes over, you're going right over to your pull. So you can get in maybe 8 exercises in a matter of 20 minutes by just doing them back to back. So a bench press and a seated row, something like that. And I would like to hit the same angles with that. So if I'm doing one at 90 degrees, then I'm going to do a pull at the same angle. And I'm going to play with that. And then maybe do, I don't know, maybe a shoulder press and a pull down, something like that. Maybe some curls and tricep extensions. In any case, so I might be rambling now. So creativity, motivation. Cross training. You know, I mentioned the term proprioception. When you're doing resistance training, one of the benefits is just that it's a cross training for many other sports. Myself as a runner, I do cross training merely to strengthen kind of make myself a little bit more athletic, but also to strengthen some of the running muscles that might get fatigued when I'm always just running. So I don't have to run as much because I'm going to make my running muscles a little bit stronger in the weight room. So if you are doing things like playing tennis, then you may want to do things to strengthen your shoulder or make yourself more agile. So doing things like kettlebell swings or some agility cone work. That's not necessarily weights, but something like a kettlebell swing would definitely make you a little bit more athletic, and it changes that proprioception, changes that center of mass within, so that you're having to understand where your body's at in the fluid time and space. So I think cross training has a lot of value. So if you really are interested in a hiking, for example, then getting in and doing resistance training 1 to 2 days a week even could help you become a better hiker, a stronger hiker. And something that I also note, people who are doing endurance exercise, or people who are not exercising, not in the weight room at all, what I like to do is take them to the staircase in stairwell and CTC, because there's 3 stories of stairs, and they suck, to be honest with you. But the point of that is so that when people start to see how they go up the stairs, and as they get fatigued, are they keeping their pace, keeping their rhythm, the time that they spend on a stair? Is that slowing down? Is that are they spending more time on the stair? Are they fatiguing? Or are they actually pulling themselves up using the rail? And so those are just some of the cues I look for in fatigue. And resistance training can really help with that, surprisingly, in that it makes you, resistance training, when you're working the glutes and working those thigh muscles, can make you a stronger stair stepper person as you're going up a flight of stairs. It just makes it that much easier just to get up, zip up that flight of stairs. Obviously cardio training is specific to that to that as well. But generally, when we're on a flight of stairs, we're not on it for more than maybe 30 seconds to a minute. When you're doing multiple stairs, maybe at home 10 seconds. But in any case, when you make yourself a little bit stronger in the gluteal area and the core, the thighs, the calves, then going up a flight of stairs is a piece of cake, or at least it leads to that. That would be the ultimate goal, right? In any case, those are the main things. Just getting at that motivation, finding out a good reason why to exercise, injury prevention, proprioception, your activities of daily living, just basic, modalities of moving can all be enhanced in a weight room. And to be honest, man, I hit a weight room maybe 3 or 4 times a month. But I also know the benefits of it. So if I'm maybe lacking, or if I need some injury prevention, then I can kind of feel that inherently within my body. And I'll zip down to the gym and put in a good 20 to 30 minute workout. And that'll kind of get me through the next week or so. But I do know that myself as a runner, I do need that for the cross-training purpose. So once a week is about what I shoot for. In any case, so we've covered a lot of topics. I know this is kind of a rambling message to you, but I don't mind this one. I think this is a really good one, especially coming off the heels of grading. I just noticed there were a lot of common themes, and I think I hit them all. If you guys have any questions at all, man, do not hesitate to shoot me a message in the conversations or in the inbox, and I'm happy to reply, kind of volley some stuff back and forth. I think that's it for now. You guys take care. Bye-bye.